Hey, welcome back. Today on my bench I got a Harman Kardon hk495 with a missing foot. No, it's got feet. Okay, it's all crooked. This receiver was on the channel months ago. I did a full recap and I did some other work I can't even remember now. But it had a problem that I didn't address at the time because I didn't have the parts. The problem with this receiver is the FM does not pick up stereo, and I did some troubleshooting back then to figure out what was wrong, and it narrowed it down to one of two things. But let's have a revisit this and have another look. Power on. Let's hook up an antenna. It's a chunk of wire. So that we can see. I don't know if you can see. Maybe I should turn this a bit. Okay, we are on FM right now. FM tuning mode, manual mode, okay. Everything else is good. So let's tune through the band. It's going to make a liar out of me. It doesn't even want to pick up any stations. Okay. 1049 is just local. It's only got 3 LEDs for the tuning bar. .1039 is another one. Okay, so I got speakers hooked up. .97.3, that's the center frequency. It has no trouble pulling the stations in. It's just that it won't lock, and there's no it won't lock with the tuned light, and there's no stereo. So what I did, alright, so here's a schematic for the hk495, and we are looking at the FM multiplex section here. This is the FM multiplex. Now I remember I fed in 10.7 intermediate frequency signal, and I couldn't get the pilot tone even though I was feeding it a 19 kilohertz pilot tone. And I did trace it with the scope all the way up to this chip where I could not get. This chip here is the multiplex chip. Shows it here in greater detail, block diagram, and it has its own internal oscillator that operates at 456 kilohertz. What it does is it has a crystal resonator, and let's see, let's draw it in here. To ground. Now this oscillate resonates as crystal. It's not crystal, it's ceramic resonator, sorry. And it operates at 456 kilohertz. Now what it does with this signal, with this internal oscillator, is it takes it and divides it by 24. And from here we get 19 kilohertz. This isn't working. I could not find a 19 kilohertz tone. I couldn't find anything going on here. So one of two things is wrong. Either this chip is bad or this resonator is bad. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take this and try and get it going again. The circuit in question is right here. This is the chip, and this is the resonator here, this yellow brick. So what I want to do is I want to take this resonator out and I want to test it to see if it works. But first, what we're going to do is we're going to test a good known resonator to see how it should test. And then we'll take this one out and then we'll test it and we'll compare the two. We'll see if this resonator is good or it's foobar. And if it's foobar, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have 455 kilohertz, but I don't have 456 kilohertz. And I don't know if that difference will make a hill of beans. If the resonator is good, we'll replace this chip and we'll see if we can get the FM running on this thing again. Alright, here's my little test circuit. It's a ceramic resonator, and this one's resonates at 450 kilohertz, Smart 450. I have other ones here. Here's a 455, and I got 375. I got all different kind of frequencies. But this is a pretty simple circuit. It's just a capacitor, and this is a 0.01 microfarad capacitor, and the ground wire. With this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed it with my signal generator. I'm going to feed it a signal through this capacitor and hook up the ground. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to scope what's going on with the resonator and hook up the ground scope ground, and that's it. We're done. So let's I'll get a camera set up on the scope and the frequency generator so we can see what the hell's going on here. So I got both cameras focused on the screens of my signal generator and the scope. Let's turn on the signal generator. And you'll see on the scope we have our signal. It's 446 kilohertz. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to manually sweep through the range of this resonator, and we're going to see what happens on the scope. As I get closer, it drops. See, it's at 450 now, and it dropped to minimum. I'll go one more, 451, and I'm past that point. If I keep going, it doesn't get better. So you can see that this resonator resonates at 450. Let's try a little, see if we can get this a little closer. Seems to like that 449.9 kilohertz better than 450. So this is what we expect to see from that resonator when I pull it out and try it. It should behave like this. The reason we're getting a smaller signal as we hit that resonant frequency is because the impedance has dropped. At that resonant frequency, the impedance drops, and it's shunting out that signal that's coming through the capacitor. So that's pretty much it right there. I could probably fine-tune this right down to the hertz. I think right there somewhere is probably the center frequency right there. Maybe. It's hard to tell. But so that's what we're looking for. So let's pull that resonator out of the receiver and we'll hook it up and we'll try it under this setup. Alright, so I swapped out those ceramic resonators, and we now have the resonator from the receiver plugged in. It is at, I'm playing around with it with my hand here. It says supposed to have a center frequency of 456 kilohertz. Let's see what we have here. Here, let me change this to You see what happened there? We went right by 456. Nothing's happening. This resonator is not resonating. $449, $50, $51. Nothing. This resonator is dead. So that's the cause of no stereo signal. Got a dead resonator. Now I don't know if a 455 will fit. It will fit and it will work, but I don't know if it'll work with the circuit. So we'll try it out. Yeah, it's unfortunate. The chip is probably good. It's just that that resonator is doing absolutely nothing. Actually, it is moving a little bit. What is this? It is way off. It is 438 now. 436. Yeah, 436 is resonating at, not 456. So it's 20 kilohertz off. Okay, I put the resonator back, the 455 resonator back into the circuit. And let's try it, see if it works.
To help, let us take care of your credit. You get the idea.
No, it's still not working.
We offer all of these too. We do incredibly
still not getting stereo.
Most of our mortgages come with profit share rewards cash. This means.
Okay, so next step, I guess, is I have new chips. Let's put one in and see if that fixes our problem. So that chip is hiding right behind this strut. So I have to remove this strut, and I probably have to remove this side of the receiver as well because it's tucked underneath there. Yeah, so let's get some screws out here. So this should come out. And I got one more screw here. One more screw on the heatsink. Okay, should have full access now. I'll heat up the desoldering gun and we'll pull that chip out. Yeah, let's mark this so we don't get it mixed up. Put a little scratch on it. Put our new one in. Orientate it right. Pin 1 is up. We are shut off, aren't we? Yes, we are. Okay, we're in. All 16 pins are sticking through. It'd be easier if I lay this down. That's it. Okay, let's give it a test. Alright, so I believe I found the problem. I couldn't find it until I got a magnifying glass out, but I think I have a cracked core in one of these two discriminator coils. So let's take this apart and see if we can change that core. It's got a plastic jacket around the outside. Let's see if we can pull this out. If we can find some tools, we can work. Let's try this. So which one was it? Let's check them both, but it's this one here on the bottom. So I can pull this one out. Come on. Okay, I want to get these mixed up. I imagine they're both the same, but I still don't want to get them mixed up. So, how do I get that out? Let's see here. I need a screwdriver. Probably this size is good. Yeah, it's broken. It's stuck too. Why is it stuck? Okay, bust it out. I hate cores that get stuck, and then when you crank on them they break, and then you have to dig them out and replace them, because you can't align it with a broken core. It just won't work. There's no way. Because actually what you've done is when the core breaks and splits in two, you've got two cores in there, and they both they don't operate as a single core. They operate independently. I don't know if that makes sense, but we'll get this one out and then we'll get a fresh one in there. Just want to be careful. I don't want. There's a capacitor at the bottom here. And I don't want to damage that because I don't know what value it is. So let's just dig this core out. Took me a while to find this because basically what I was going to do is I was going to run through the FM alignment one more time because maybe I missed something, and the first step is discriminator coil. Okay, it's clean now. And if discriminator coil is not in there working, you'll never be able to get past step one. Okay, what can we use for a replacement? This one's awfully long. No, that's too long. Let's get a short one. Looks like somebody's been in here robbing cores already. What's this one here? That one looks good. Let's see if it fits. Or is it too loose? It's too loose. Too loose. Oops. So I need a little bigger one, diameter. If I had a set of discriminator coils from another receiver, I could just pluck them off and use them. But it's 210. This one's too thin as well. Yep. Might be too tight. See if I can get this one out. Let me hunt down the appropriate tool. Okay, was this one? Be careful not to split this. This one's painted in, so I'm going to have to clean it. What's going on here? Nope. I think I cracked it. Okay, so I got the only core I could find that would fit is this one, and it's way too long. It's even longer than the can itself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this one in half and hope for the best. And we're going to use half a core in this can. It might be even too much. Well, we should get it to, we should be able to peek it now. Yeah, that'll work. Put this back together. Here. No, that won't work because I gotta drill that hole bigger. Okay, I gotta drill that hole bigger because let's check this one. Is this one turning? Yes, okay. The other one was frozen. So I'll drill this hole bigger. The core can stick up top, and then we can get a better range of adjustment. And there we go. We got a core that we can adjust. And if it's too long, we can't get the range of adjustment, we can take this core out and cut a few threads off, put it back in. So we should be good now. Okay, I'll clean up here and then we'll put this back together, solder this back in, and then we'll try another alignment. Okay, so I got the core, the discriminator coil still soldered back in. Give it a test. Let's see.
We can assume you've been to the bearrocks.com, right, Ryan?
Okay.
Not since
Start
early this
adjusting.
morning, 'cause I've been working, so.
Well, you know what that means, Ryan.
Yeah.
That
the
means,
part goes ready.
well, that, and also you now have to give us your best Nicolas Cage impression. Go.
Not happening.
That's Nicolas Cage.
That's all you gotta do. That's all you gotta do.
Sorry.
Yes! Amazing!
The Toby and Warren Show with Warren and Toby. Weekdays 3 to 7.
Got stereo.
Only on Edmonton's Best Rock. 100.3. The Bear.
This one's a weak station. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the alignment procedure according to the book, and we're going to get this thing tuned in. Okay, so I completed the alignment, and I just want to show you the sensitivity of the receiver. I got it at 98.1 megahertz. I'm feeding it a 1000 hertz tone, and I got it at 1 microvolt right now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it just gets better from there. So it's pretty sensitive. It's not the best. I've heard a lot better tuners, but this one's doing okay. It really picked up after I did the alignment, and the FM side is working fine now with FM stereo. And the tuned LEDs now coming on when its station's picked up. So I'm happy with this. I'm going to wrap it up and close up the case. Well, there it is. It's finished. Big screw up on my part. I guess I should have checked those cores when I did the alignment the first time, and I couldn't get it to tweak in. And I'll learn my lesson from that. I also had a Harman Kardon 230 that had a broken core, and I could not get the IF alignment to dial in. So it's a lesson for you. If you can't get the alignment to work, check those cores, because if they're cracked, they're not going to work. It's not going to work. It has to be solid core, one piece. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to test drive this one for a while. Looking forward to that. So have to try this one out. And I guess thanks for watching. Well, hello and welcome back. Good to see you again. Thanks for joining the channel. Today on the bench I have a Harman Kardon hk495i. This one was featured early on in my channel on I think episode 25. What happened with this is, this was an eBay purchase that I had made quite a while ago now, and bought it, put it on the bench, went through it. I think I replaced all the caps and got it all tuned up. We had a problem with the balance control, balance pot. It was really noisy. It didn't respond to any spray, so I removed the pot, cleaned it, and we're going to see if that has held. What I did is I did the repairs. I didn't complete it because the FM tuner had a problem where we couldn't pick up stereo, and I didn't have the time or the ambition back at that time to fix the FM. But today I'm going to open this up. We're going to get the FM going. I have a purpose for this now, so I want to make sure it's 100%, and before I pass it on to a new owner, I want to make sure it's working. So let's do that today. It uses, for a multiplex chip, it uses the LA3410 from Sanyo, and they're kind of a hard chip to find. And I don't know if I purchased these online after I did the video or not, but suddenly I have these in my inventory. They're not marked down, which kind of confused me. But let's, first of all, let's take the lid off, power it up, and confirm we still have a working, functioning unit, because it sat in coma there for the last 2 years. Make sure everything's checks out okay. We'll confirm our fault, and then let's go about and fix the FM on this. Okay, opened it up and had a look inside. Everything's still, it was actually wrapped up in a plastic for the last couple of years. So when I took the lid off, I immediately smelled capacitor pee, because I didn't do a full recap on this thing. I only did partially. Probably what I did is I went through and ESR'd these caps and replaced only the bad ones, and left quite a few of them alone, like these blue ones here. And they are, those are those Mashashita ones that are notorious for leaking, and that's, I'm smelling something. It's kind of faint, but it's there. So probably what I'll do is I'll go through and finish recapping this, and I want to make sure the phono stage is working good, because that's an important part of this for this new future. And then we'll attack the tuner. And like I said, I see some caps have been changed, these red ones, and these purple ones here are originals. We can go after those, and we'll do a complete recap on this. And then we'll see what becomes of that. Okay, let's hook it up. I want to test that balance control, see if it's still holding up. Alright, we're all wired in for speakers and antenna. I actually had to go back and re-watch the video from episode 25, because I couldn't remember anything about this. And that was a good thing too, because it had all the information there of what I should expect. So let's see, turn it on. Consuming 16 watts. We're on AM right now. Let's turn it to FM. Where is FM? Get a strong station here. It's pulling in stations, but we don't have any stereo. Let's see if we can find a stereo station. Where is the stereo lamp? It is stereo. So that's an odd one. We are getting stereo. Okay. So let's, we got a tone happening here. Let's turn on to tone. And our balance control is still working. Controls are clean. The speaker switch is quite dirty. Okay, we'll clean that. Phono. Getting some hum from the phono stage when I do my magic trick here. Okay. So that's interesting. It's working. Let's see here. Memory 1. Alright, let's go back to FM. Memory 2. Memory 1, memory 2, that's working. The other memories are empty. Okay, so we're not going to worry about the FM anymore. Audio mode. Okay, let's go back to tone. So make sure these switches are good. Tape monitor is good. Speaker's dirty. That's easy to clean up. I can either clean it or replace it. Alright, so I think at this point don't have a repair to do. But I am going to attack these capacitors that are still the originals, and I'm going to get rid of them because I want to put this back into service, and there's still green TK caps in here. And I did not replace them all. There's Mashashita caps, which are known to be bad, and the power amp's been done. Okay, good. So I'll get started and replace a few caps. Okay, I'm counting up 26 caps I need to change out. You know, I don't know why I just didn't do them all when I had the chance. I guess I went through and tested them, and a lot of them tested fine at the time. I think I'm just going to replace those 26 and then be done with it. This switch here, I think I'm going to remove it and clean it. It's kind of one of those difficult switches to clean. You have to open it up. But a cleaning will do a world of wonders for this one. And just desolder it from the board. It's kind of a special switch. You can see this. It's kind of a special switch that has the nubs cut off the front. And it's got a different rack mount from the switches I have in stock. It's got the same pinout and form factor, same size, everything, except it has it has different mounting, and it has this cut off. So I don't have replacements for this switch, but we will take it out and clean it. Okay, I'll get busy on the recapping, and I'll show you how that goes. Nice clean unit. Not much to say about this. Looks like it was working good when I put it away, and it's still working good today. So let's finish this one off. Okay, so here's what it looks like out of the rack. It's a typical push latching switch. It's got your latching mechanism on top, and your spring, your main spring, which does all the... And it looks like it is a silver plate. You can tell there's a little bit of oxidation on here on the silver plate. To open these up, there's two catches, one on each side, one here, one here. So what you got to do is you got to pull the main spring back and hold it tight, and then you got to release these two catches. Do one side here, just to get it popped up. It just keeps popping back in. Let me try again here. Okay, see now I got, oh, it popped back in. Let's try this side first maybe. Okay, oh, see, it doesn't want to, these are really finicky, these switches. I often wonder how they do these at the factory. They must have a special machine. Okay, got that side out. Let's get this side. I'm kind of lifting up on the thing here with my finger. That's why it's not dropping back. Okay, let's pull. Oh, see, it dropped in. I was hoping I could do this on video so you guys could see how to do this. It takes patience and it takes tiny hands too, which is something I don't have. Okay, there we go. So we got both latches loose. Just want to carefully pull it off. Remember, keep that spring back and just rock this out. There's our latching mechanism. That aside, and then we can just lift this right out. And there's our plunger. So you let the spring go. Now, these are the things that are very fragile. You don't want to bend them. Take them out and put them aside. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use polish on they're quite black inside. It's funny how it gets black inside, but the outside parts don't get that black. So I'm going to use polish on these 6 contacts. And we're going to make them shine. Once I'm done polishing them, I'll drop this in the ultrasonic, clean out all the residual polish, and then we'll treat it with deoxit and put it back together. But instead of me talking about it, let's just do it. So for polish today, I'm going to try something new. This is when I went out and bought some of this stuff. Now people keep saying, use Brasso, use Brasso. It's a polish, metal polish. Well, I bought a thing of Brasso just like this, and turn it around and read it. It says, do not use on silver. That's what it said on the back. So, okay. But they do make the Silvo, which is a metal polish made for silver. It says for use on nickel, gold, silver, mirrors, and chrome. Okay. And that's, yeah, that's what I paid for it. Welcome to Canada. But it really has a strong, oof, it's got a strong ammonia smell. Nasty stuff. So let's just get a little bit on here. That's all we need. Actually, that's too much. And we're going to get in here. We're going to try and polish these. We don't have much access, but we're going to try anyway. I need to get us some better Q-tips. It's shredding my cotton swab, but it's also working. Yeah, it is working. I can see it's coming clean. I found if you just want to spray something into the switch and work it, it typically doesn't work. Or it works for a little bit of time and then it comes back. Look at the black I'm getting out of there. So let's try one more time at the other end. And I've gone to doing a full disassembly and polish of the contacts as pretty much the only way that you can guarantee the switch won't start acting up again. Okay, this is not ideal for this kind of switch. Getting lots of crap in there. Okay, let's clean this out. The fuzz. Let's have a look. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little bit of tarnish on this side. This side here. A little bit on both sides actually. I know they make different cotton swabs that have a fine tip, and that's what I need here, but I don't have any. Let's try. Okay, I think. Okay, let's have another look. Oh yeah, that's much better. Okay, I'm going to put this in the ultrasonic for about 10 minutes and get rid of any of that residue that's in there now. Okay, back from the ultrasonic. I'm just going to spray a little canned air in here just to clean out any little remaining water. Just blow out any water and any lint left over from the swab. It looks pretty good. Let's get rid of this. Okay, I'll put this back together. Now these leaves, you can't really clean them because they're wiping and they're self-cleaning. So I usually just leave them alone, and then we're going to treat this with some deoxit. Oh, come on. Every time I turn the camera on, things go difficult. I got the wrong tweezers here, I think. Okay, let's try it this way. Slide it in from the end. There we go. Okay, position them so that they're together. This is the tricky part. Okay, we need to put a little splash of deoxit. Concentrate 100. Just going to put the tiniest amount in the middle. And then when I work the switch, it'll get redistributed. You don't want to go crazy with the deoxit because you'll just collect dust after. Now this is the tricky part. We have to get prepared here. So pull the spring all the way back, and you're going to see the two openings for the leaves. Just drop it right on top and allow it to drop in. I don't know if I got that on right. Yeah, I pulled it off. Okay, start over. Isn't this fun watching a switch being assembled? Okay. Let's position these together. Oh, you see, it's very touchy. Okay. Let's do this one last time. Pull the spring back and hold it there. Okay, dropped on. Good. You can kind of release the spring if you want and then test it. And it's moving smoothly, which is good. We don't want that plunger to pop back off again, so we have to hold it down, pull the spring back, because the spring's going to fight us. Because there's nothing to hold that plunger in place. It's just going to fly out the side. Okay. Now, this part, we put it on, line it up. And it should click in place. Why isn't it? What's holding it? Oh, my latching mechanism problem. There we go. And I'll go through and I'll check the contact resistance. Let me do that right now, actually. Okay, so normally this is normally open, or this is in the off position. That's open, and that's closed. So I got 14 milliohms on that contact. Let's try this one here. And it's open. Close it. I got 10 milliohms. It's good. Let's try the other side. Now it's open. Close it. You got 11 milliohms. That switch is good. Now here's the other switch I haven't cleaned yet. Let's check this one. I'll put you up on the machine here. Okay. Here is one side. It's open. I'll close it. See, we're getting... It's not very good. 80, 60, it's dropping. It's open, closed. 200 and some milliohms, and then it drops down. 1 ohm, 1.3 ohms, that's not very good. Yeah, this switch hasn't been cleaned yet, that's why it's showing that high resistance. Let's try the other side for the other channel. Open, closed. Oh, we got 2 ohms, 6 ohms, 28 ohms. Yeah, I'm going to have to clean this switch as well. So I got this one done, and I still have to clean this one, so we're getting there. I knew I smelt something. Look at this. These ones are leaking. This one and this one. Wow. Okay, if there's ever an argument for replacing all the caps, this is it. I think this is a good example of why you should just replace all the caps. Why go through and mark the worst ones and replace the worst ones and leave the rest? Since even if you think they're working fine, take them all out, because this is the problem now. That one cap was leaking, and it's a good thing that I caught it because it didn't have time to seep down into the trace. It was still wet, but it was just in the hole. So, but we got them all out now. There's I think there was quite a few I took out actually, and you don't have to worry about it now. Yeah, the caps in this thing were junk. Those TK caps, those green TK caps, get them out. Don't test them, just take them out. Oops. Doing. Yeah, those are hard ones that are under here. But then I don't have very good light. Where are you? You can see me. Oh boy.
Trucks with up to $10,000.
So, here it is, it's done. I changed these caps. These were all bad, surprisingly, and they were left behind last time I went through this. Should have actually just yanked them out and replaced them, because there's no point in differentiating between good caps and bad caps at this point. This is an 80s receiver, and you know, it's 40 years old now, so get those old caps out and don't even bother trying to save a few pennies and replacing some and not the others. It's not good practice to pick and choose at this point. So this is all ready to go. I tested all the functions, the phono, the AM, FM. It's all good to go. This is going to go to a new owner, so I just wanted to spruce it up, clean up the boards, touched up any solder joints that I had. Really didn't show any of that on the video because it's all just basic stuff. I removed these 2 speaker switches and cleaned them. This one was... Now it's good and clean. It's no, there's no scratchiness to those switches. These ones, the function switches are good. Presets are working. Everything's got stereo. Everything's working good. So yeah, this is going to go to a new owner, and I hope he enjoys it. So that's it for this one. Short one, I know, not much to look at, but it is what it is. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time and see you in the next one. Thanks.